Curriculum Equity and Student Wellbeing Committee meeting of Tuesday, May 14, 2024 is going to start now. I call this meeting to order. And we begin our meeting with the acknowledgement of traditional lands. That's number 2 on the agenda for today.
The land upon which we work, live, and sustain ourselves is the ancestral and treaty lands of the Michizagig Anishinaabe, also known today as the Mississaugas of the Credit, the rightful caretakers and title holders of this land. We also recognize the rich pre-contact history and relationships which include the Anishinaabe and the Ongwe Hongwe.
Since European contact, this land continues to be home to Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. As responsible community members, we value the diversity, dignity, and worth of all people.
Colonialism displaced and dispossessed Indigenous peoples of their ancestral land
and continues to deny their basic human rights, dignities, and freedoms.
We are committed to learning true history to reconcile, make reparations, and fulfill our treaty obligations to the original peoples and our collective responsibilities to the lands, water, animals, and each other for future generations.
Thank you. Number 3 is approval of the agenda. Can I ask Trustee Stan Cameron to put it on the floor, and
Yes.
Trustee Jeffrey Clark to second it?
Seconded.
Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Is number 4 on the agenda, is declaration of conflict of interest. Is there any conflict of interest from anybody on the committee? Seeing none, I move on to number 5, which is approval of the minutes. Can I ask Trustee Kathy McDonald to put it on the floor? Trustee Kathy McDonald? Okay. And Trustee Stan Cameron, can you second it, please?
I will. Yes.
Thank you. Are there any questions or any comments regarding the minutes of the Curriculum Equity and Student Wellbeing Committee held on February 13, 2023? Should be 24, isn't it? 24. Yeah. Okay. There's a correction there, 2024. Seeing none, I move on to all in favor of the minutes, since it's been approved and it put on the floor. Number 6 is delegations. We do not have any delegations for today. And we go on to item number 7 on the agenda, which is staff reports. Today we have item 7, number 7.1, which is update on the Monjading Wingushkang Center for Indigenous Excellence and Land-Based Learning, presented by Lisa Hart. Can I ask Trustee Jeffrey Clark to put this on the floor?
I'd be honored.
And Trustee Stan Cameron, will you second it, please?
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Superintendent Hart. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Benjamin, and I would like to invite Coordinating Vice Principal of Indigenous Education, Nicole Reynolds, to provide an update on programming at the Monjading Wingushkang Center for Indigenous Excellence and Land-Based Learning.
Thank you, Superintendent Hart, and good evening, everybody. It's my pleasure to join you today to give you an update of what's been happening at Monjading Wingushkang since we've opened the building. So I'm going to speak to some of the community partnerships and partnerships with other boards we've been working on, credit and learning recovery programs we've been running, field trips, our focus school program, some credit accumulation programs that we've been initiating, and how we've been empowering First Nation, Métis, and Inuit youth. So since opening, we've been partnering with Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board Upper Grand District School Board, and Wellington Catholic District School Board to provide opportunities for First Nation, Métis, and Inuit students and families to come together at the center and learn from various community partners. One successful event we held was the Teepees and Telescopes program, when folks from all over Turtle Island and the globe came together to share star knowledge. We've invited folks from across Turtle Island, like Negon Sinclair, to share lived experience and teachings with families. And we've also used it as a space for solidarity when we had a successful Black and Indigenous Solidarity Family Night. Each time we offer these opportunities to families and students, we've seen an increase in engagement and attendance. Sometimes when you're a family in an urban setting, you feel an Indigenous family in an urban setting, you feel like you're the only one, but through these opportunities, we've noticed friendships and continued relationship building among the community across the different school boards. We are also going to be hosting our first ever powwow on May 31st, which is coming up very soon. And you're all invited. This is going to be the first time we're opening it up to the entire Peel community. Everybody is welcome. We've had great engagement by various community partners who are willing to come and dance and sing and drum and bring their services as vendors, and it's going to be a great day. We're also, during the instructional day portion of the powwow, we have a number of schools who have signed up to come as a field trip, and during the day we're going to have, I think it's 9 pavilions that are going to be run by various community partners to provide knowledge sharing and Indigenous ways of knowing, doing, and being. We also had an Eagle staff created for our center, which will be held by our incoming Indigenous student trustee as one of his first official duties, I guess, in our grand entry for the powwow. Our credit and learning recovery programs happen on an ongoing basis. So learning recovery is supported through both the Indigenous Education Grant and the COI program, where we bring students in from grades 7 to 10 to the center on Tuesday after school. And they engage in language learning with one of our language teachers. They're learning Anishinaabe, and they also are able to get school support as well. Some of the school support we offer is having them engage in traditional teachings and Indigenous ways of knowing, and members of the Indigenous education team are able to find alignment in those ways of knowing with the expectations of the Ontario curriculum. Our credit recovery program runs on Fridays, and this is where we can bring high school students to the center, high school students who may be missing credits or at risk of missing credits, and the Indigenous education team are able to support. We bring community in to share teachings, and again, we're able to take those traditional knowledge systems and align them with those expectations of the Ontario curriculum so that students are able to attain these credits towards their Ontario secondary school diploma. The center has been open to all students across the Peel District School Board, so schools have the opportunity to sign up when we bring community in and come to the center and learn. We've had a planetarium in our gym. We've had atlatl throwing on our field. And every Tuesday and Thursday, we welcome Tabitha Shergold to the center. She is with the Indigenous Network, the local friendship center, and she provides storytelling teachings to students in grades 3 and 4. We've also piloted our focus school program, which we've used the center as a place to build capacity for educators to bring in Indigenous ways of knowing, doing, and being into their classrooms in a good way. This year, we've worked with 26 schools, so 2 schools per superintendency. And they've been able to come to the center and engage in in-depth training from the Indigenous education team and various community partners. These schools also have access to the resource teachers who are a part of the Indigenous education team, and they're able to go into the schools and support teachers with actioning their learning in the classroom. One innovative way we've been using the center is through providing traditional learning opportunities for students to achieve a credit. So right now, we're in the process of our second canoe build. We invited master canoe builder Chuck Commanda from Kitagan to come to the center for 2 weeks. And First Nation, Métis, and Inuit high school students are able to participate in an intensive 2 weeks of learning through storytelling, STEM building, and traditional ways of doing canoe building. And they were able to launch this impressive canoe, which, as you can see, floats and paddles, and it didn't sink. And we're hoping that the next canoe is just as reliable. So students who participated in this program received a leadership and peer support grade 11 credit. So part of the credit was the canoe building, but then the canoe actually traveled to each of their schools where they were able to share their learning with their peers and their teachers. Some students even were able to share their learning at staff meetings for staff. And they were able to take ownership of what they did, and it became an experience that, you know, they'll remember for the rest of their life, probably. Another way we've found credit accumulation is through the building of this aquaponics lab, which is the indoor lab that you see there. This was completely student-led. The students that supported this worked together to build it, to figure out the science behind it. They probably know way more about aquaponic labs than I do. They chose the plants to be able to grow in it. They also designed an outdoor portion of the garden where we'll be growing vegetables and traditional medicines and things like that. Students who participated in this have received co-op credits. They come 3 days a week and are able to attain a co-op credit. And we're also able to find other innovative ways for students to achieve credits through this process. So we have one student who is documenting it, the building of it through a photo essay to receive a photography credit. So one thing that's really come from the center is finding really innovative ways for students to achieve those credits to help them find success and attain the Ontario Secondary School Diploma. And these are just some other examples of ways that we've empowered Indigenous youth. We have been keeping very busy, as I'm sure you can see. This summer we'll be having our 3rd annual Monchding Wingashkin Culture Camp. We are supporting the recruitment of students to various university partnership programs that we have in place. So working with Algoma University, we are planning a field trip for the students to go there to learn all about the LEAD program. And we've hosted various student gatherings for students from across the Peel District School Board to come together and learn from community and each other. So we've noticed a lot of great things with opening the center. By creating this space, we've seen an increase in PDSB staff participating in the professional learning that we're offering. We've seen an increase in students whenever we offer gatherings or opportunities. The attendance just keeps increasing. We're hoping to, over the next few years, be able to see an increase in graduation rates and credit accumulation rates. The biggest thing is just over the 1 year that the center has been open, we've seen a 23% increase in self-identification data. So more students feel proud to be who they are. They feel like we have an identity affirming space, and they're feeling like they want to self-identify. So I'm happy to take any questions. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Nicole. That was an excellent presentation. And I'm more than ever determined to come and visit this because I haven't had the opportunity. So before anybody, I'm going to ask Chairman Green to organize a trustee session there so we can all meet there and see what this is all about. Thank you. So any questions, any comments? So you have the floor, trustees. Trustee Clark, did you put your hand up? Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes, I did. Just gotta take it down, right? Okay. Yeah, yeah, through you, Chair. It's difficult to contain how happy I am with how this thing has been progressing, and to hear a lot of the possibility of stories from the Anishinaabe community in particular. And I just want to thank all the teachers and staff who participated in the education program. It makes a big difference when we understand each other. We just work better together. And yeah, I'm just very pleased with how this is working. And I hope everybody will be there at the powwow. Thank you.
Yes, Trustee Promoli, you're next.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I'm just so blown away by the incredible work that you're doing out there. And I can't thank you enough for the dedication, for the passion, for everything that you're doing to make sure that you're bringing these beautiful opportunities to students within our community. So just keep going. You're doing great work. I know we've been fortunate to be out a couple of times now, and I'm so thrilled, and I always love when I hear back from students within my community who've had the chance to go out to visit with their classes, and to hear how much they're gaining from that experience too. So you're doing incredible work. So just keep going and let us know how we can support. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Promoli. Anybody else? Is there any questions or comments by other trustees? Seeing none, I'm going to go in and ask a few questions, not a question, make a few comments. Yes, as Trustee Promoli said, it's wonderful listening to your report and all the possibilities of experiential learning that we have there. So I'm definitely going to come for the powwow. How many people are accommodated in this, setting there?
I don't know. I don't know why my microphone isn't working. I'll just hold it like that. Thanks. At the powwow, I think we've accommodated because it's going to be outdoors. I'm putting it out to the universe that it's going to be a beautiful day. We're anticipating around 800 to 1,000 people. That's like our big, dream. Inside, I think it's a small building. So I think we could only accommodate about 500. That's what the gym accommodates. So that's kind of our max. But for professional learning and things like that, we limit it to about 60 just because of parking restrictions and things like that.
Thank you. And also you mentioned about 3 school boards that are partners. 3, is it?
Yes.
So it's so great to have other schools coming here and making use of this facility. And I'm quite sure when others hear about it, we're going to have more and more school boards coming in. Thank you very much for this report. I think it's wonderful.
Thank you.
And any more questions, any more comments? Seeing none, we go to item 8 on the agenda, which is communications. Can I ask the trustee McDonald to put it on the floor? And trustee Clark, will you second? And we have trustee Superintendent Logan, are you going to? Oh no, this is a 8.1 response to delegation of Natasha Lakani French immersion selection process. So this report. Sorry. Oh, sorry, Superintendent Happy. That's for you.
Thank you. There's no presentation. It's just simply a communication for
Okay.
response to the delegation. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. So you're not going to talk about it?
No, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's just simply providing communication
Okay.
so that way.
All right, so it's for communication, so it's
I'll just receive it.
so we don't receive it.
Just for receipt.
Thank you. All in favor? Next on the agenda is number 9, trustee motions for consideration. Are there any motions? Seeing none, we'll go to number 10 on the agenda, and that is trustee notices of motion. I don't see any. So we come to number 11, the last item on the agenda, and that's adjournment. I'm going to leave it to one of the trustees to put it on the floor. Who's that? Trustee McDonald and trustee Cameron, you second it. So today's meeting is adjourned. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great evening.
All those in favor?
All those in favor? Aye, okay.